Alf, maybe we got repacks all wrong.
You take the card and put it in the sleeve.
Card repacks. I had an experience this weekend that I want to share because I think it ties into the whole repack phenomenon in the sports card space. Before I dive in, we got to thank our channel partners. PSA, make sure to take $25 off your first PSA order with the SCD25 code. Tell a friend. 1 card minimum to try out PSA. Card Capsule, if you're looking for supplies, great quality supplies for inexpensive prices, check out Card Capsule. With your first $100 spend, the SCD25 code will give you $25 off that first $100. So make sure to check out all my links in the video description as well as the pinned comments to get hobby discounts. JustCollect.com, you got a collection to sell, you don't know where to go? JustCollect.com, very easy appraisal form on the website, whether it's modern or vintage. Leighton Sheldon and the team will take care of you over there at JustCollect.com. All right, so my youngest daughter just turned 13. She had a bunch of her friends over for the weekend, had a sleepover and all that good stuff. She's like, Dad, can you take us to the mall? Want to go walk around the mall? And I don't go to the mall that much. You know, thanks to Amazon and Walmart shipping and all that stuff, Walmart delivery, we just order stuff right to the house most of the time. We don't go to shopping malls that much, but occasionally I like to go because it kind of reminds me of the nostalgic mall type stuff. So go walk around the mall. So yeah, went to the mall and I noticed there was no less than 3 or 4 different stores, niche stores that were basically hobby stores. There was a comic book store, Ultimate Comics was in there. There's a GameStop in there, which is also basically a TCG shop. It's got trading cards in there as well. There was another store there that was a sneaker shop where actually, and this was really cool, they had a bunch of rare Jordans and things on the wall, and they had like rare shirts and stuff. But basically, it was high-end, rare sneakers. They had them up on the wall like you would see at Foot Locker, except they were wrapped. So you could pick up the sneaker, but your hands did not actually touch the sneaker. They wanted to keep them fresh, all that. But then you scan it, and then the price tag is there. They had actually a pair of Jordan 9s. I think they just came out again with these. In 2017 or 18, they came out with the Jordan 9s, which are basically the Air Jordans from 1994. On the bottom of the sole, it says 1994. That's how I know. And I got a pair of those, black, kind of suede red. They were so damn cool when I was 13 years old. I wish I still had them. But they have kind of re-released these as like retro throwback shoes. Well, the shoes, like they're the newest ones out, were like $300. But they look very, very similar to the originals going back to 1994. A lot of the same details. Some things were a little bit different, but for the most part, same type of shoe. So you had that. You had kind of the high-end sneaker store. And this is not in any sort of like luxury mall. This is like a regular old mall here locally for me. And then there was 3 other stores that were focused around, I would call it Japanese collectibles, because there was a lot of Pokemon stuff, there was different anime things, and there was Labubu. Labubu. Now, of course, I've heard of this just like everybody else probably. It's these little demon dolls that everybody loves. Everybody's after them. And there was a line. I went into one in particular. There was a line at like the Labubu desk where they sell these things. And I asked a lady that was in line, I was like, hey, I collect a variety of different things. We're here walking around. Like, what is the draw to Labubu, these Labubu dolls? Because I also looked on eBay, and some of them sell for like $3,000, $2,000, $4,000, $5,000. And she's like, well, they're cute, and then they're also in these boxes where you kind of get an idea, like they're themed boxes, but you don't know exactly what you're gonna get. So there's some mystery to it. And so I was like, that's it. That is the big draw for these things. Because the idea of this reminds me a lot of Beanie Babies in the 90s or Cabbage Patch Dolls in the 80s. It's the same sort of thing. Or Care Bears. You know, Care Bears didn't have the same sort of craze that like Cabbage Patch Dolls and Beanie Babies did. But it's the same sort of idea that you've got some of them are limited edition, and then you add the mystery box element to Labubu, and that's the thing, man. That's what gets people hooked on these. And I was thinking, man, what a genius idea. If they had done this with Beanie Babies going back in the 90s, it would have been really interesting. Now, the way they did Beanie Babies, though, this was pre-internet in the 90s. You had to call around to stores. This is like really, like as cell phones were getting going. It wasn't easily accessible to even have a cell phone. So you're calling on your landline to a store. Hey, do you have this particular Beanie Baby? Then you're rushing out there and trying to get it before everybody else. Different times, obviously, but to me, this is very similar. And I don't know, I didn't ask the lady, like, because I didn't want to get too much in her business, but I wasn't asking like, hey, are you looking to get this to like resell it, to like flip it, to sell it on eBay or whatever? I didn't ask that question, but I did get the feeling though, there's a lot of people that just buy those, not necessarily speculating on long-term value, but just because they enjoy the dolls. Probably in a similar way with Cabbage Patch Dolls in the 80s, where parents were just trying to get those for their kids because that was like the hot toy of the summer or the hot Christmas toy or whatever it was. It was a little bit before my time. I think that was more like mid 80s when Cabbage Patch dolls, like early to mid 80s when it was going nuts. I was born in 81, so it was a little bit before my time. I was more of like, Teddy Ruxpin. Teddy Ruxpin, if you guys remember Teddy Ruxpin.
Again. How about these, Master?
Hi there. My name is Teddy Ruxpin. How are you today?
Fine.
Well then, I would like to
Teddy
tell you
Ruxpin.
a story.
The world's first animated storytelling bear. Now available at stores everywhere.
The Teddy Ruxpin dolls were like the talking Teddy Ruxpin. That was a big thing. And Nintendo and stuff like that. So this was really interesting to me, and it made me think about card repacks. And part of, I think, the thought here is that people want to open, just like they want to open packs. It's almost like opening up a present. Like when you buy a mystery box like this, like these Labubu things, you buy one and it's almost like you're opening up a present for yourself. I think that's part of what this is. The card repacks, I guess, are kind of similar in that it might be themed to where you sort of know, like it's a baseball repack and it's, I don't know, it's one card that's going to be $1,000 or more. So you kind of have an idea of what it is, but you're not exactly sure. And maybe that mystery is what really pulls people in on the trading card side. Now, I don't necessarily think that a lot of people that are buying into the repack are thinking like, oh, cool, I'm going to get that card and I'm going to hold it forever. I do think that there is kind of more of the speculating, the gamble part where maybe on the Labubu side, you're kind of hoping you get a really rare Labubu so that you can maybe sell that or it could be worth something in the future or whatever because it's more limited edition. So like I said, some of these limited edition Labubus, they go for thousands of dollars. It's wild. And so on the trading card side, obviously it's different. I think people are just going for lotto tickets more so than on the Labubu side. It was more of like, I really like this thing. They're cute. That's what the lady said. They're cute. But you know what it also reminds me of on the Pokemon card collecting side? There's a lot of females that collect Pokemon cards, and it's because, oh, the Eevee character is cute or whatever. I've heard the same sort of terminology, like, oh, I like how that one looks. That's like a cool looking one. That doesn't really exist in sports. It's characters versus athletes and so forth. But I just thought this was really interesting. Maybe I've gotten the whole repack thing wrong. So maybe there is some crossover between what we're seeing in trading card repacks and what we're seeing in the Labubu craze. Let me know your thoughts on this. But like I said, this reminds me so much of Beanie Babies in the 90s because it was the same story. You had these people that were buying a lot of Beanie Babies and they were, cute, whatever. Oh, cool, I got a cool one, whatever. This one is different. But there was a thought, a lot of people kind of had a thought of like, if I hold on to these are going to be worth money over time. So with the Labubu crowd, I guess that's the part that I'm trying to figure out. Is it a lot of speculators like that are just new to collectibles and they haven't had that experience going back in time where the Beanie Baby thing happened, or the Cabbage Patch doll thing happened? I don't know. But hey, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, my friends. Stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.